former vice chief of staff of the Army, now chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and Fox News senior strategic analyst. General, obviously there's a lot there, a lot to dig into. But I want to start here actually by going back to January 19th of 2022, because President Biden was talking about Ukraine and the fact that Putin has not been able to make it to Kyiv. And we think about, which you didn't mention, the hundreds of thousands of lives that have been lost since then. And it all began shortly after this statement about a minor incursion. Watch this.
I speak today as President of the United States at the very start of my administration, and I'm sending a clear message to the world. America is back.
Okay, that's a different one. And then he said, I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades, but it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion, and then we end up with a fight about what to do, et cetera, et cetera. Your thoughts, General?
Yeah, well, I listened to the president's speech, and the foreign policy and national security part was just absolutely stunning. It's amazing to me how some politicians and national leaders can absolutely take the facts and just turn them all around and present something that's completely different. I mean, when it comes to foreign policy and national security, I mean, I don't say this lightly. The president has a failed presidency, and that's the reality of it. When the facts speak for themselves, let's start with what you started with, Russia. President Trump provided lethal aid to help the Ukrainians when he was in his presidency, and he told Putin that there would be severe consequences, he told him personally, if he invaded Ukraine, and he never budged to do it. That first clip you showed was February of 21. In March of 21, 60 days into the Biden presidency, Putin put 70,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. The president is asked the question, what are you going to do about it? His answer is, I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to provoke him. Second question, what if he does go into Ukraine? What will you do then? It depends on how much territory he takes. Putin was testing Biden. Is he the same as he knew when he was part of the Obama administration? Is he different than Trump, who I've been dealing with for 4 years? Putin got his answer. It on Biden's back that Putin takes the initiative and goes into Ukraine, and the catalyst of the failure in Afghanistan certainly underscored the rationale that he was going to do it. Let's take the Middle East. In the Middle East, when Biden comes into power, Iran is reeling from the death of Qasem Soleimani and maximum sanctions that have been imposed on him, and the progress being made of the Abraham Accords. For the first time, we're starting to stitch together an Arab NATO that we've been talking about for years. What does Biden do? Stops the sanctions and tells the Iranians, I'm making this concession to you as a sign of good faith so we can get back into the nuclear deal. The Iranians read that as weakness. They stiff him on the nuclear deal. They take the money, and what do? They start to fuel and munition and everything into their proxies. And what happened as a result of all of that? Iran operationalizes their proxies, and they go after Israel with a vengeance once and for all to destroy the state of Israel and drive the United States out of region. So here we have Biden in power, no war in Europe during the Trump administration, no war in the Middle East other than Trump taking down ISIS. And we have war in Europe with Putin threatening to expand it, war in the Middle East. And fortunately, the commander-in-chief is what I call him, Prime Minister Netanyahu, exercised and went after Hamas and Hezbollah and the Iranians in a way that no one else had ever done in 44 years. And he ignored Biden in doing it. Even in the Indo-Pacific theater, that military out there is outpacing the United States considerably. We have lost our ability to deter them militarily, and all sorts of war games and studies have proven that in a congressional commission I was on. What did we do? As opposed to building up the hard power so that diplomacy would be more effective, we issued flat budgets. There has been no defense increase in the Biden administration in 4 years, and we are way behind them. Does she know that? Yes. Is he more aggressive as a result of it? Yes. This is Biden's legacy, what I just described.
Yeah, it seemed you said you pointed to Netanyahu ignoring Biden and the trip that you just took us on around the hotspots in the globe. Every one of them ignored what President Biden did or said and did what they wanted to do. And we'll just close with this. We have to go, but I'm grateful to you for being here. The Chinese military ended 2024 with a surprise unveiling of 2 sixth-generation fighter jet prototypes after they had sent a record number of warships into the waters around the self-governed island democracy of Taiwan, which Beijing has said is core to its core interests. So we'll see where this goes from here. General, thank you very, very much. Always good to have you with us.
Yeah, great talking to you, Martha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.